Your computer's hidden enemies lurk. The classic virus acts like a tiny digital parasite, much like its biological namesake, that attaches itself to a legitimate program or document. When you innocently open that infected file, the virus code springs to life, often without you ever knowing it. Its main mission? To replicate itself, spreading to other files on your computer and even across network drives. These digital invaders aren't just annoying. They can corrupt your precious data, slow your system to a crawl, or even delete entire files, making your machine utterly useless. Think back to the infamous I Love You virus from 2000. It spread like wildfire through email attachments, overwriting essential files and causing billions of dollars in damage worldwide. Unlike many modern threats, these viruses needed a user to click or open something, acting as a digital chain reaction of destruction that relied on unwitting participation to spread their payload across susceptible systems. It was a simpler yet devastating era of digital infection. The network worm masterfully self-propagates. Unlike a virus that needs to hitch a ride on another program, a worm is a standalone piece of malicious software. It's built to replicate itself and spread autonomously from one computer to another, without any human interaction required after its initial release. Worms are cunning. They exploit vulnerabilities in network protocols or operating systems to sneak in and then rapidly search for more vulnerable machines on the network, creating a digital domino effect. Take the Configure worm, for instance, which by late 2008 had infected millions of Windows machines by targeting a specific security flaw, ultimately creating a massive botnet. Worms can choke network bandwidth, wipe out files, install secret backdoors for future attacks, or even launch massive denial-of-service campaigns. Their ability to spread globally in minutes makes them incredibly dangerous, often overwhelming defenses before anyone can react, turning network security into a never-ending battle against these invisible, relentless invaders. Trojan Malware, often simply called a Trojan, master's disguise, playing on human trust and curiosity. A Trojan horse is a type of malware that pretends to be a legitimate, desirable, or even useful piece of software. It might look like a free game, a movie download, a productivity tool, or even a critical software update. But here's the catch. A malicious payload hides inside this seemingly harmless package. Unlike viruses or worms, Trojans don't self-replicate. They rely entirely on you being tricked into installing and executing them. Once it's running, a Trojan can grant remote access to your system, steal sensitive data like banking details or login credentials, or even delete your files. The Zeus Trojan, for example, gained notoriety for snatching banking information by recording keystrokes and taking screenshots. Trojans are incredibly versatile, serving as a delivery mechanism for a whole arsenal of other malicious payloads, effectively turning unsuspecting users into unwitting hosts for digital saboteurs. Ransom demands present a truly terrifying modern threat. Ransomware is a particularly nasty type of malware that attacks your most valuable digital assets, your files. It works by encrypting them, scrambling their contents so you can't access your photos, documents, spreadsheets, or anything else. Then, it hits you with a ransom note demanding a payment, usually in untraceable cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, in exchange for the decryption key that will unlock your data. Imagine waking up to find your entire digital life held hostage, with an ominous countdown ticking away. The WannaCry attack in 2017 is a prime example, crippling hospitals, businesses, and government agencies across hundreds of thousands of computers globally. The worst part? Even if you pay the ransom, there's no guarantee you'll get your files back, and you're only funding future attacks. Ransomware often spreads through cleverly crafted phishing, emails, or by exploiting unpatched software vulnerabilities, causing massive financial and operational devastation to individuals and organizations, making regular data backups absolutely critical. Covert Spyware's name tells you everything. It's software designed to spy on you, completely without your knowledge or consent. This stealthy invader silently monitors your computer activity, meticulously collecting all sorts of personal information and sending it back to a remote attacker. What kind of information? Everything from your browsing history and email addresses to your precious passwords, credit card numbers, and even every single keystroke you make. While some spyware might just track your online habits for targeted advertising, The more sinister forms facilitate identity theft, corporate espionage, or even blackmail. You often pick up spyware by downloading what appears to be free software bundles, or by clicking on those super deceptive pop-up ads. The consequences can range from annoying privacy breaches to severe financial losses and completely compromised security, effectively turning your own trusted device into a personal surveillance tool against you. Annoying adware, short for advertising-supported software, automatically displays unwanted pop-up advertisements, constantly redirects your browser to advertising websites, or even injects ads directly into pages you visit. While a basic form of adware might come bundled with free software, many variants are far more aggressive, installing themselves without your clear permission and becoming incredibly stubborn to remove. You might find your browser's homepage suddenly changed, your default search engine hijacked, or new, unfamiliar toolbars appearing out of nowhere, constantly interrupting your online experience with irrelevant or even dangerous ads. Though generally less destructive than, say, a virus or ransomware, adware can significantly degrade your system's performance, gobble up your network bandwidth, and severely impact your productivity. In some unfortunate cases, it can also act as a sneaky gateway for other, more dangerous forms of malware to sneak into your system, quickly escalating a simple nuisance into a serious security headache. The stealth rootkit is one of malware's most insidious forms. A rootkit isn't a single piece of software. It's a collection of malicious tools specifically designed to gain and maintain deeply privileged access, what we call root access, to your computer system, all while remaining completely hidden from detection. Think of it like this. An attacker doesn't just break into your house. They replace the locks, disable all your security cameras, and erase their footsteps, making it seem like they were never there. Rootkits can modify your operating system's core functions, intercepting system calls to effectively lie to your computer about what processes are running, what files exist, and what network connections are active. This makes them incredibly difficult for standard antivirus software to spot. Highly sophisticated attackers often use them to maintain long-term, undetectable control over a compromised system, turning your machine into a secret base for further attacks or data exfiltration without you ever realizing. Beware the Keystroke Catcher, more commonly known as a keylogger. This is a type of surveillance software that does exactly what it says. It records every single keystroke you make on your keyboard. Imagine someone peering over your shoulder, secretly transcribing every email you write, every chat message you send, every search query you type, and most critically, all your usernames and passwords for your banking, social media, and other vital online accounts. Keyloggers can come in two main forms: hardware-based, which are tiny physical devices plugged invisibly between your keyboard and computer, or software-based, installed covertly as part of another malware payload. Their primary purpose is straightforward: to steal your credentials and other sensitive personal information, leading directly to identity theft and unauthorized access to your digital life. Detecting software keyloggers can be incredibly challenging because they are designed to run silently in the background, underscoring the vital importance of being extremely careful about what you install and where you input your sensitive data. The zombie network, better known as a botnet. Picture this: hundreds, thousands, or even millions of compromised computers, all secretly controlled by a single malicious actor, the bot herder, without their owners ever knowing. These individual machines become zombies or bots when they're infected with malware that allows them to receive remote commands. Botnets are incredibly powerful because they harness the combined resources of all these individual devices. Attackers use them for a vast array of nefarious activities, including launching massive distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks that can bring down websites, sending out vast amounts of spam emails, distributing other types of malware, or even performing illicit cryptocurrency mining. The sheer scale and coordinated power of a botnet attack can be staggering, posing a significant and pervasive threat to internet infrastructure and individual users alike, turning unsuspecting devices into unwilling soldiers in a cyber army. Fake warnings are the hallmark of scareware. Scareware is a deceptive type of malicious software that uses psychological manipulation, specifically fear, to trick users. It aims to convince you that your computer is riddled with countless viruses or suffering from severe performance issues, even when it's perfectly fine. It does this by displaying alarming pop-up messages, urgent security alerts, or even fake system scans that mimic legitimate antivirus software. These warnings are designed to create panic and pressure you into immediately purchasing a rogue or fake security program to fix these non-existent problems. When you fall for the trick and install this bogus software, you've not only wasted your money, but often you've also installed actual malware, further compromising your system security. Scareware exploits human vulnerability and urgency, preying on a user's lack of technical knowledge to generate revenue for cybercriminals, frequently leaving victims in a far worse security predicament than before. Memory-resident threats, also known as fileless malware, are a highly sophisticated and increasingly common type of malicious software that operates entirely within a computer's volatile memory, its RAM, without ever writing a single file to the hard disk. This living-off-the-land approach makes it incredibly challenging to detect using traditional antivirus programs, which are primarily designed to scan for and quarantine malicious files stored on your disk. Instead of leaving a physical footprint, fileless malware often abuses legitimate system tools and processes that are already present on your computer, such as PowerShell, Windows Management Instrumentation, WMI, or even manipulating registry keys to execute its attacks. It lives and executes directly from temporary memory, making it exceptionally evasive. Once the system reboots, the malware typically vanishes from memory unless it has cleverly established a persistent method of reinfection, posing significant challenges for both incident response teams and digital forensic analysis. The time bomb, also referred to as a logic bomb, is a highly targeted and often delayed type of malicious code deliberately inserted into a software system. It lies dormant, completely inactive, until a very specific condition or set of conditions is met. Only then does it explode or execute its destructive payload. The trigger could be almost anything: a particular date or time, like a New Year's Eve countdown, the deletion of a specific file, the failure of an expected event to occur, like a server heartbeat signal, or even something as specific as an employee's name being removed from a company's payroll system. Unlike many other forms of malware, insiders or individuals with deep, legitimate access to a system frequently plant logic bombs, making them a severe insider threat. They are designed for delayed, targeted destruction or disruption, posing a unique and difficult-to-predict security challenge. Understanding these digital threats is your first line of defense. The online world is constantly evolving, and so are the tactics of cybercriminals. Staying informed is no longer optional. It's essential for navigating our interconnected lives safely. What's the scariest computer virus you've ever heard of, or perhaps even encountered yourself?